Okay, so just before we start off the level, just to give a little background for the narrative, the reason why players are in the dungeon is because they received a quest to find a missing warrior that went into an abandoned hideout and never came back. So our job is to find that warrior, and if he's dead, at least bring back his missing sword that he had with him. So that's what we're doing. And for this submission, for the polish, I focused on tweaking the lighting. There were some areas that could have the lighting improved, and um, there were just too many dark areas, so I focused on improving on that. So this is what the beginning area looks like. I use this to introduce the player to the level. I don't have any enemies here, so that I can use this to introduce players to the level. The rebel is over here to say that we don't want the players to go over there. There's nothing for them over there. So let's bring their attention over here where the lighting is at. This is one of the areas where I improved the lighting on because before you could barely see the blood. The lighting over here wasn't pretty good, but now the lighting is pretty nice. And this is one of the many narrative elements that I have of blood is lighted by a trap, so you step on it. It's a dart trap. And I have a chest over here, and I have gold to kind of draw the player's attention over here and have them more likely to step on the trap. You search the urns nearby, and this also creates the idea that maybe the warrior that we're searching for stepped on this trap and got hurt by it. There's also a thing over here, but that's what this is for. This is the introduction to the level. And then as we continue on, we're moving further into the bandit hideout. And we can come towards our first enemy encounter. But before that, I have the players spawn in a room, so there's enemies down below, but we're up top. This is so we have this to give players the opportunity to get the first to surprise the enemies and get the first attack out. And there's a push in there to kind of vary the pickups. I have plates and cups over here to show that yeah, bandits were eating over here. Apples to show what they were eating. You can sit at the table. But you come over here, you can see that there's two bandits. There's one bandit over there warming his hands by the fireplace, and there is another bandit over here using the cooking pot. So that's another mini narrative of bandits cooking food. Bandits using cooking pots to cook food to kind of create the idea that they're living over here. So this gives us the opportunity to get the first hit, sneak up on them, and we can kill them off. So, like I said before, I just had the placement so that we can sneak up on the placement of the enemies in a way that allows players to sneak up on them so that they can get the first hit. But we can see that, oh, we have cooked beef over here. Maybe this was something that the bandits were cooking. And that's that. If we continue on, I have a room that doesn't have any enemies in it to act as a cooldown. And this just shows like kind of like the food that the bandits are eating. So I kind of use this as a food storage room. And it further creates the idea that bandits are living here and eating. And then afterwards, we have, if you can see straight ahead, there is a bandit right there checking a dead body. And I use this to develop narrative as well. And I made sure to place this right in front of the player as soon as they walk through here so that it will be the first thing that they see and be attracted to. So we have a bandit checking a dead body right now. Then we can go and fight this bandit. And I think we alerted the other bandit walking between scenes. We did. He's coming over. So let's wait for him. Actually, let's go towards him. Let's have him come out here. I don't know why I'm lagging, but I'm lagging a little bit. But this is the first narrative element of a bandit checking the missing warrior's dead body. Like I said before, I placed it right in front of the player. As soon as they walk into the dining area, so it'll be the first thing that they see. And you can see that this is the missing warrior, and he does not have his sword with him. So that means that the sword was taken, and we need to do something about it. And the bandit checking the dead body kind of tells the player that the bandits killed the warrior. So this is what the dining area looks like. I just place things on the table to make it seem like more like a dining area. We have a potion over here, kind of vary the pickups. Same thing with over here. We have gold over here to kind of vary the pickups. And then we have a locked door, and behind this locked door is a chest. And I locked the door to kind of give players a challenge before, before going to a chest, so that they don't always just come to a chest. They have to have some kind of challenge before actually being able to get to the chest. So this is the armory. Instead of just having a chest in here, I made this into an armory. So we have the swords here and axes. More swords and axes over here, just to give an idea of like what kind of weapons the bandits are using, and that they're using this place as an armor. You got the bandit armor, and then we have a chest over here. Alright, and we can come over, search these urns, and I use kind of use 2 bandits at a time to kind of like give the player a fair challenge, because one bandit kind of isn't too challenging. Alright, so this is the bid room for the bandit. So I have 2 rooms. There's a room over here and a room over there, which we'll go to next. This is the bid room to kind of show more that bandits are living here, and there was a soul gem right there, just kind of like vary the pickups. Alright, I think we already searched this. This is the other room. This is another room that the armory needed more lighting, so I made sure to give that more lighting, because before it was a bit too dark. And this room also needed more lighting, because over here and over here was pretty dark. So I made sure to added the lighting with that. We have a book over here to kind of change the pickups. Pick up more bowls and pots. And this is just another room to kind of show that bandits are living here. Just another room for bandits to go to. The next room though is the room with the portcullis in it. And as you can see, there are 2 bandits standing guard, and they're standing guard because of the joggers, and we'll see about that later on. So we can come in and fight the bandits. Alright, so if you look to your left, there's I made it so that this book is more attractive by putting it on a table and putting it on something that's risen above the ground to kind of draw the player over here. And when they come over here, they find the bandit journal. So this is one of the narrative elements. So it says that the Joggers have killed our fellow brethren and snatched the warrior's sword from right under our nose. We are still recovering from all the damage that they've caused. The only thing protecting us is this sturdy gate. We must keep watch and make sure the Joggers don't surprise us again. So this tells why there were 2 bandits guarding the portcullis, was because of the joggers. They got attacked by the joggers. And it says that the bandits took the sword and then the joggers took the sword, so now we gotta get the sword from the joggers. So that was one narrative element for the book, and one narrative element of 2 bandits standing guard. And over here, you have another dart trap. And I made sure to put a gem over here and some items such as swords and potions to kind of draw the player over here and get them to step on the trap. Alright, So as we continue on, we can open the portcullis, and this is where I have the last bandit encounter. Because when you open this portcullis, I want to say, okay, from here on out, there's something else that you have to fight, and that's why the bandits are standing guard. So go further in, and to the left is a mini narrative element of room being destroyed, and we can it's like goes with the idea that the joggers and bandits, they were fighting and they had to fight in here and destroy the room. And like a bandit got hurt right here, and that's why they're running away, because the joggers are dangerous. So that's one mini narrative element. This is the last narrative element of a bandit dying by a jogger. So as you can see, the bandit, there's blood leading to the stairs going down, and there's an axe inside the bandit's back to show that he was running like up the stairs trying to run away, and he got hit in his back with an axe and died. And we can see that, okay, down here is where the threat is at. So now the players are aware that they'll be fighting something when they go down there. And that's the last narrative element. Okay. And once we go down the stairs, we have the last mini narrative element of a skeleton here. So it goes to show that, okay, maybe a bandit died here and ran away, and he was killed by the joggers further ahead. Alright. We have a chest here, and that's when we have our jogger encounters. So for these jogger encounters, I kind of wanted players to fight joggers and like have multiple back-to-back encounters with joggers. So I have them fight 2 joggers in succession. However, I keep it at 2 so that players don't fight too many joggers. So you see, that jogger came out that wall, and this jogger, he came out of this wall. So I kind of want to like increase the action by having the player encounter joggers more, and limiting the space of where they can go. And as you can see, there's rubble here that blocks the player's path to kind of say, okay, there's once a path here, but now you have to go all the way around, to give them a reason why they're going all the way around. You see there's another jogger over here. Let's get rid of him. So there's one over there, and another one over here. So 2 joggers in succession. And as you can see, before we fought these other 2, I gave a cooldown period for people to walk around, so that they don't have to keep fighting joggers. And like I said before, I limited the space, made sure the spaces are small, so to keep the action pretty quick. Alright, we have one that's not empty. Sometimes the urns are empty, sometimes they're not. It's like a 50-50 chance. Alright, and I made sure to vary the types of the joggers in order to keep everything interesting and not seem too repetitive. So when you come over here, you can see that this is the gap that we saw from the other side that we walked across. We walked around. Alright, so after that, there's a slight cooldown of no joggers, to give players the freedom to walk around and explore. Let's just see what's in here. Alright, as we continue on, okay, we see there's a jogger waking up right there, but let's come over here and pick up these first. Sometimes they're empty, sometimes not. 50-50 chance. Let's attack. So there's 2 joggers over here. And I this time I have the space pretty big to allow players to explore and kind of vary the space that where players are interacting with joggers. So we have a closed tight space before, and now we have an open space now. And this jogger came out from over there, and this jogger came out from over there, to kind of like vary the way the joggers approach the player. We can explore. There's nothing over there. We got some bowls and jugs, a little pot that we can knock around. We can hear a jogger getting up, and you can see there's one coming out from over here, and this one is a restless jogger, and I use a restless jogger just to uh, increase the difficulty just before the boss and the various different types of joggers that players they have to battle. So if we come over here, I kind of use the lighting to draw the player's attention over there, so we can see, okay, there's a big door over here. Maybe there's something good over here. So we can go in here, and this is another place where I put a chest behind a locked door to kind of give players a challenge before they get to the chest. If I can open it, there we go. And here's a chest behind a locked door. Alright. And then, alright, so that was the last jogger that we just fought. And then I have players going back up the stairs to kind of make it seem like they're going up out of the dungeon and back to where they were once at. So they're going up out of the dungeon, and this is the boss area, the boss fight. So I used the big doors to kind of show that this is the boss fight. And to the left, there's health pickups and magicka pickups to kind of replenish your magicka before the fight and replenish your health before the fight. And then we open up the door and we see the Draugr Overlord. Just to give a little. Actually, I'll do that after I defeat the boss. But as you can see in his hand, he has the warrior sword in his hand. And so we need to take the warrior sword. So I put the warrior sword in his hand to make sure players fight the boss and don't run around and pick up the sword and then leave. So when we search the body, you see that, okay, this is the missing warrior sword, so let's get that. And just to give you a little overview what this area looks like, this is what it looks like. I use Robo to kind of make the space interesting, to not give too much of an open space. As you can see over here, after you defeat the boss, I kind of give gems and a thing of gold to kind of increase the amount of reward you get for defeating the boss, and I have a bigger chest here to increase the reward you get for defeating the boss. And after that, you come up here and you hit this door, and then you leave the dungeon. Overall, I think I did a pretty good job on the layouts and the placement of things in terms of the encounters for enemies and things like that. For improvements, I'm not too sure if I got the placement for pickups correct in terms of spreading them out. And for this boss area, maybe it could have felt more like a boss area. Maybe it could have been bigger, and like I said, just felt more like a boss area. But other than that, I think I did a pretty good job on this. And that is my level. Alright, let me end it.